Hello there, we're going to talk a little bit about beliefs or your belief system. So what is it that you believe? Well, I did a talk last night in relation to beliefs and how belief system works, or how you believe you can do something, or do you actually believe that you can get the results in something, or do you believe that you can actually get something, or do you believe you can follow through with something? And the answer to that question is, of course you do. Yes, everybody does. Everybody believes they can do it. But the problem is there's probably about 95% of people that don't. So why is that? Well, this was the topic of the conversation, because when we look at what we believe in, we believe it's possible. We believe it's going to be true. We believe it's going to happen, and we have faith in our belief that it will happen. But it doesn't. And the reason why it doesn't is because of paradigms. So why is that? Why is it that the paradigm sets in? Well, I'll explain it in a little bit more details. When you believe you can do something and you want to do something, well, you start off with the excitement of it. You believe in it, you're going to do it, and you start follow through with it. It's a bit like, a great example would be a bit like maybe a coach or consultant, or maybe somebody that's in business, an entrepreneur, and they decide that they're going to do something, and then they get excited about it. And then maybe for a couple of days, they're fired up and they're really motivated and they're working towards it. But then all of a sudden something happens. Maybe they get a bill through the post. Maybe something happens to a family member. Maybe something happens, where the car insurance comes in and it throws them off. It throws off their train of thought, or throws off their thinking. And of course, what happens then, they revert back to the normal comfort zone. So they start to focus on it. And that's exactly what people do. That's why they tend not to follow through. It's the same where you do a training course, or you read a book, or you listen to an audio, or you watch a YouTube video, and maybe you watch hundreds of them, and maybe you watch thousands of them, and you say that this is what's going to happen. You build all the knowledge that you possibly can about the subject that you want to learn on. And then you find a week, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and maybe even a year pass by, and nothing actually happens. So why is that? Well, again, I go back to it's because of the paradigm. It's because your paradigms suck you back in. And another quick story in relation to a paradigm. It's a bit like when you decide somebody decides they're going to lose weight. Because you've got to remember, paradigms are a collection of your habitual habits. Everything that you do, you get up at the same time, you go to bed at the same time. You probably sit and eat your dinner in the same position at the kitchen table. Or maybe you sit and watch TV in the same chair all the time. And if somebody's in your chair and you walk in and they're sitting in that chair, you ask them to move because you're uncomfortable. That's your chair. You want to sit there because that's what makes you comfortable. And that's what happens with paradigms. It's the very same thing. It's because you have created the comfort zone. So when you decide that you're going to do something and you believe you're going to do it, well, of course you do believe you're going to do it. But the reason why you don't follow through it is because you're in your comfort zone. Your paradigms take over. So let me quickly jump back to somebody that has a paradigm, say when it comes to their weight. So we all work on frequencies, and of course, there's different frequent levels. But generally speaking, when you're on a particular frequency, that's what you're comfortable with. So that's what you're always going to revert back to. And it's a bit like when somebody decides they're going to lose some weight. They go to the gym and they start working out and they start feeling good about themselves. And for a couple of days, they're feeling really good, working out and working hard. And then maybe a couple of days later, the weather gets a bit cold and they go, it's going to be a little bit cold in the gym. I'm not going to bother going today. And then it starts to wear off. And then they might go to the press and a bar of chocolate falls out and they go, sure, 1 bar of chocolate's not going to make that much of a difference. Then the following week, I'm not going to bother going to the gym. Bar of chocolate falls out. Maybe a pack of crisps fall out and you start eating away in them. And then you go, do you know what? I wasn't losing weight anyway. What's the point? I'm giving up. That's what happens with a paradigm. That's what sucks you back in. That's the reason why you believe, but you don't follow through. Your behavior is not incongruent with your belief. So therefore nothing happens. And then you find a month, a week, and like I said, 6 months or maybe even a year passes by, but nothing changes. So your results remain the same. Nothing changes. The results are the very same as what they were previously. But yet you are confident in your ability to do what you wanted to do. You had belief that you were going to do it, and you believed you were going to follow through, but none of them happened. So if this is something that you do want to change, if you want to change and you do want to get the results, well, then that's where I come in. Give me a shout and I'll show you. I'll be accountable for you to help you get the results that you want, because that's what it takes. You need somebody to back you. You need somebody to push you. So make that decision. Make contact with me and I'll show you the how.